pandemic of violence floods the streets of major cities as cases of the media-dubbed murder virus, MV20, soar, causing those infected to go on killing sprees. Caught in the middle, police detective Angela Miller finds her only trustworthy ally in the self-proclaimed psychic PI, Gerald Henry. As the two try to navigate the violence, they are drawn into New Age guru Abramelin Harvest's plot to heal the planet. Harvest's missive?
The world is sick, and humanity is the infection.
The cure? Murder. From the twisted mind of Sean C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires and Shadowplay in Book 1, Kim and Jesse, comes his most vicious novel yet, Murder Virus. Available where books are sold.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. I'm Sean, and I'll be your turbo lover for the evening.
And I'm Gary Shandling. Insert nervous laughter.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Wow, Turbo Lover and Gary Shandling.
Well, we have to compete
I'm
with
at a
you.
loss.
We have to compete with you now, changing your name to EA.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening. I think that's an artistic sweep, honestly. I mean, I commend
You
you.
know, I wanted something with at least one more vowel and very piratey sounding.
You got it, EA. You got it.
I fully support you.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll support you no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
So
Awesome.
we're going to record two episodes tonight in a straight shot. And I'm going to divide them up. So if you're listening, this is the first. We're going to talk about two movies specifically. The first movie we are going to talk about is from 2022. Go figure. It is in the movie theaters right now. And I think all three of us will probably agree that if you are listening to this and you do not go see this movie, you are cheating yourself. This movie is called Barbarian. It was written and directed by Zach Krieger. It stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and this is a spoiler-free segment. We're going to warn you, we're going to go full spoiler. So those were the only two people I knew that were in the movie because they're in the trailer. I'm not saying anyone else's name in the spoiler-free, because I was like, there was so much shit with this movie that, I mean, if you've seen the trailer, I had been saying for weeks, this is one of the best trailers I've ever seen, because I feel like they showed me so much to get me ramped up to see it, but I feel like they've shown me nothing about I had no idea what the movie's about, right? And
Absolutely.
I walked out, I was like, they actually showed me even fucking less than I anticipated. Like, I literally knew nothing about this movie based on that trailer. And so the trailer alone wins.
Yeah.
Guys, we all saw it this week. Ray, what did you think about Barbarian?
Oh, it blew me away. It blew me away. I was honestly impressed by the fact that it was a
Spoiler free now. Spoiler free.
no.
No, I'm just saying we'll go full spoiler, but
No. Because I think this is Fox, isn't it? If I remember correctly.
yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right. It is.
It's a big budget horror film, and it doesn't feel like one. It's so impressive. It gets so much right. It's wow. I don't know what else. I honestly had looked at what this person has made previously,
This is
but
his first
man,
fucking feature.
really?
Yeah, it's his
Wow.
first feature.
I didn't know that. That even floors me more. Like it just wow. You're exactly right about the trailer. Like I had seen the trailer. I actually did try to see if I could find out a little bit more online, and like I found nothing online. I
Good.
didn't poke a little too much, but like, like I looked at like Wikipedia, I looked at some other things, and like I guess the people who have seen it, because I think it was about 2 or 3 months ago, Beyond Fest,
Yes.
as part of their
Screened it.
year-round thing, screened it as they did the West Coast premiere of it, and some people saw it, and of all things, they saw it for free. I believe it was a free showing,
Yep.
which is even more painful. The fact that I didn't get a chance to see that, but yeah, I mean, it's oh man, it gets so much right, and like it doesn't. It's so perfect, not going into like anything. It gives you so much room for them to go in directions that you just are unexpecting. And I was like, oh my god, the acting's excellent. The effects were great. Like the setting is amazing.
Yeah.
There's so much about it that just is right. There's so much it gets right, and I oh man,
Yeah.
I guess if anything, the one thing that I would say is, uh, I mean, maybe critical about is that it doesn't feel like a horror movie for a big budget audience. It feels more like a horror movie for a small budget audience.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels a lot more of something akin to a Pearl or a Bigos film or something like that. It feels like something that was made to be seen on a smaller,
Yes.
not necessarily a smaller budget, but a smaller audience for sure. And it's impressive that a big budget studio grabbed it and went, yeah, let's produce this, let's make it, let's put it out. Um, because it's so thoughtful and it's so impressive that it like it doesn't have the cheesy ass jump scares. It doesn't have the, you know, like I don't know. There's just it's just a valley of difference. I mean, by comparison to something else I saw recently, I saw The Invitation,
Mm-hmm. The
and it
Dracula.
not to knock it, yeah, yeah, it's good. It's entertaining. I thought it was good for what it was doing. I thought it was interesting. Um, but it does feel a lot more like something that's made for for like a wider audience to see and be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it feels like it's made for a horror audience.
Yeah.
It feels like it's made for someone who like, they have Shutter or they have Arrow or something, and they ingest a lot of horror and they've seen things, and they walk in when they walk into the theater, they're like, okay, well, let's see if this is any good. And then like like we all sat there and went, I don't know about you. I mean, I think when I was sitting in the theater and the movie ended, I joined the group chat that you had dropped on all of us and just wrote, wow,
Yep.
Barbarian. And I went, holy shit, Sean was right.
Yep.
This movie floored me, and I was just so impressed with it that I was like, "Wow, I can't! Holy crap!" And so it doesn't feel like it's something that's made necessarily for a big budget audience, and like the isn't mine the concept of possibly offending people or shocking them. So yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
wow, wow.
Anthony, talk about it.
No, I agree with Ray with a lot of what he said, especially the whole thing where it doesn't rely on jump scares and stuff like that. Because, and this isn't to spoil anything, but when you see things coming, you're kind of like, oh fuck, it's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not one of those things where it's like, okay, this thing's gonna creep out behind me. No, there's none of that in this
Nope.
film. It's well shot. Its set designs are fucking amazing, especially with where it takes place. That's not a spoiler either. It's just dilapidated neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, its score was fantastic. It's very well acted. The effects that they use in it are disgusting. They're practical.
Yes, they are.
There are, as Ray would say, juicy. There's some nasty shit in this movie, and I'm very surprised that this came out, in a wide release like this. I don't know what the budget was for on it. I do agree again with what Ray said. It doesn't seem like it's a very big budget film. It seems like it's something smaller, and that would definitely be catered to very niche seeking horror fans. And for some reason, this thing just came off so effective as a crowd pleasing film, especially in the theater that I saw it in today. I was able to sit down and watch a double feature of, well, back to back rather. I saw Barbarian and Pearl today on the same day. So I mean, the juxtaposition there is fucking insane.
Yeah,
those two movies. But I mean, this movie was just outstanding, man. I mean, like on all fronts. And the second you think you're going to get tired of it, or that it's going to become dull, it just ups the ante and really just grabs you by the short and curlies and pulls you along for the ride. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I was going into it very skeptical. Again, you guys know I am about a lot of modern horror, and this thing it had a big budget grindhouse feel to it that I just fucking loved. And I can't implore people enough, go watch this while it's still in theater. It's still got plenty of showings too, so it looks like it might hang around for a little bit. So I mean, folks, you got time, please, as you're listening to this, book a fucking ticket and go check it out. It's really fun. It's really fun. What about you, Sean?
So like you guys, I mean, I had a feeling, I had said this to my friend Missy and a couple other people. I'm like, I just think this is going to be, I have a good feeling about this movie. I just think this is going to be like the movie to beat for the year. And it is, for sure. I mean, the fact that this isn't a studio, in no way is this any kind of spoiler because there's no similarities, but this being on a big screen, me seeing this at a Regal Cinema is like if I had seen Caveat at a Regal Cinema. To me, it's a bigger budget than Caveat, but it feels like a very similar movie. In scope, I guess. I don't know. I'm just blown away. You brought up the cinematography, and Zach Cooperstein shot this. He also did, interestingly enough, The Vigil in 2019, which I didn't love. It was well made, and I do feel like I need to see it again. There was definitely some stuff in it I liked, but it didn't. It might have been overhyped to me. And The Eyes of My Mother, which is, somebody had described that movie as the caboose on the torture porn train, and I totally agree. It was really well shot and gorgeous, but I was like, I'm not okay with anything this movie's fucking doing right now. But so an interesting pedigree, horror wise. He's done other stuff as well. He's got a lot of cinematography credits. And I really think I think Zach Krieger was in the right place in the right time with this movie, because we're still in that post-COVID thing where, like, remember what 6 months ago we saw The Hatching in an AMC, and to this day I still can't believe I saw that movie in a fucking AMC. Blows me away. And so this is a similar situation where it just was exactly at the right time. I mean, for fuck's sake, the David Bowie movie, I forget the name of it. It's like a concert doc or something. I really wanted to see it. I think it must have only been in, now I'm in Tennessee now and in a smaller town. So I was happy that I got this in Pearl. I was really happy. Here, AMC is a joke, and Regal is a much better chain as far as I'm concerned for what they show. But the Bowie movie, they did the trailers for it a couple months ago, and then it's not here. It's still out. I noticed I was in Ohio this week, and I was like, oh shit, can we squeeze this in? We couldn't. That was gone in like a week, and this is sticking around. I saw this last Monday. It's got shows through Thursday and multiple, like quite a few shows a day. So I just think it was right place and right time. And I really want people to see this movie. It's like both of you said, it's fun. It's very well made. It's shocking. There's nothing about it that's, I mean, if anything, it reminds me a little bit as far as like the Recoil, like, oh God, Drag Me to Hell a little bit, where there's like a sense of humor to some of the stuff that's happening, so this isn't like malicious, but they do some stuff, and we'll get into it in a minute when we go full spoiler. There were so many moments where I was like, wow, we just turned like a fucking 90-degree corner, and wherever we were is gone. Like, it's just gone. That's no longer there. Holy shit. I can't believe this. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I mean, please, if you're listening to this and you can go see this movie, I want the movie to do well, but I also really think horror fans will like this movie. I just think it's just top notch. It's just really, 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 really good. So that's it.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to shell out money to go watch the new Halloween movie, you can spare an extra $12 for this, and you'll have probably a better time in the end.
Yeah, and I mean,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Halloween movie, but
So am I.
And also, just a quick aside, I don't know if you guys saw this, and Ray and I think you were there. This is, I don't know how many years ago, 5 at least, at Beyond Fest. Paul Rubenstein brought Dawn of the Dead 3D to Beyond Fest. It's going nationwide. That's George Romero's Dawn of the Dead in 3D is going to be in every fucking theater.
Month. Nice.
Yeah, I've seen
nice.
Both
that was
movies,
a cool 3D experience. Yeah,
and just to see that movie in a fucking theater, right? But both fucking movies I saw at this Regal in small town Tennessee this week. Both of them had a big fucking trailer for this, and I'm super psyched. But so anyway, so I'm excited for those. But I will say, like, you're exactly right, Anthony. Like, if you're going to go see Halloween Kills, and this, no matter how good Halloween ends this is better. It just is. Any thoughts before we go full spoiler?
No, all right. Let's fucking do it.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we are going full spoiler. Please, if you have not seen this movie, Barbarian, turn us the fuck off. All right, guys. Holy fuck. First of all, let me say, I didn't know Richard Brake was in this movie, and I love him.
I had the exact same reaction. I remember sitting there in the theater, and when he appeared on screen, I was like, Richard Brake,
yeah.
Right. Like, I almost exclaimed it in the theater, except for I thought, oh, that would have been rude. But I was just like, it was the kind of thing where, like, I was disappointed that I wasn't with one of you, so that when it happened on screen, I could have been like, I pointed at the screen.
I know. Same. But I also didn't know Justin Long was in the movie. So
me either.
The fucking trailer is basically tells you about the first third of the movie, the first act, right? And then seriously, if you've not seen this movie, turn this off right now because I'm gonna spoil some shit. They fucking kill Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah,
like the biggest name in the movie. I was like, what? And then it just this is what I loved. They trusted they didn't just trust their audience. They're just like, look, you can either keep up or you sink or swim. Fuck off. Like, it goes black and you're in a convertible in California. I was like, what the fuck? Is this an anthology? Like, what is going on right now? And I'm thinking, is this the guy that keeps texting her? And like, no.
I thought it was too. I thought it was too. And I was like, where is this going? And then when he was like, I gotta fly out to I gotta fly out to Detroit and sell some properties so I can have money. I was like, he's the property
Oh
owner.
my God.
Oh my God, this is the mysterious property owner. And then, like, oh man, that whole thing where he finds a secret room and then started measuring was hilarious.
Oh my God.
I was like, how did you accomplish in the midst of the tension that we're feeling? Because we're wondering, like, is he gonna find her? Is he gonna find some bodies?
Oh my God.
Is the thing gonna kill him? Whatever the fuck it is. And he's just measuring, and we're like, I couldn't help it. I started to giggle. I was like,
it's hysterical.
I can't believe they're pulling this off. It's hilarious.
He was great.
Like, especially when he took it down the stairs.
Oh my God.
Like, come on.
Like,
man.
at what point do you not be like, wait a minute, this is fucked up? He's just like,
the best is he sees that room. When Justin Long sees the room, okay. When she sees the room, she has the normal, typical human reaction, which is fear. Like, oh my God, there's a shitty stained mattress, video camera pointed at it. There is a bucket. Oh my God, is this somebody's torture room? What have I wandered into? And he's like, oh shit, somebody built a little apartment. What is this?
He like Googles,
oh my God.
He Google like do basements and sub basements count as square footage and listings?
Oh my God. And he's just so hyped because he can put it up as like an addition to the place and be like, yeah, come on down.
Oh, Anthony, what was your reaction to the just in general to where it goes?
Well, like I said, I love the film, and honestly, I wasn't paying attention to the time because I was so engaged with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And when it first faded to cut to black, I thought that was it.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Whoa, that's just fucking grim." To end on that note, like, because I didn't know what to expect as far as what kind of budget they had for this movie, so I didn't know if that was it. And then here's fucking Justin Long zippity doo-dahing down the fucking road like an idiot. I'm like, yeah, I hope you die. I hope you die soon. I hope you. Oh God, thank God, there's more movie, and I know this guy's gonna fucking bite it hard. Let's fucking kill him for sure, and then let's see what happens. And then all the douchey shit he gets accused of.
Oh my God.
We don't need to say the trigger word on here, but he gets accused of something pretty fucking gross. And then he ends up in this circumstance where he's trying to liquidate his assets to save his ass because he is a piece of shit, which you find out by the end of the film.
Oh God, and, God, is he?
And
yeah, he is.
But watching him do all these things and his like idiotic reactions, like you guys just mentioned, I was like, I'm laughing out loud. Everybody in the audience is laughing out, and just being completely horrified, like a minute or two earlier than that, when you're watching Skarsgård's head get fucking bashed against the wall till it's turned into. I kind of wanted to see a close up practical of that. It happens so quick.
Yeah,
you don't get all of it. And I was really hoping to see that like a little more because, like I said, they weren't afraid to shy away from shit later on. So I would have liked to see that a little bit slowed down, just so you can see a little bit more, chum flying everywhere. But if that's the only like concern I had about the movie, that's nothing. This movie was fucking fantastic, man. Yeah, but like I said, as soon as you see Long on screen, I'm like, yeah, kill him, please.
Yeah,
just kill him. But there's some rad shit in this fucking movie. It goes to some fucked up places, and I kept finding myself saying, "Oh, you son of a bitch! Oh, you son of a bitch!" Like, and it was like you guys said, when you see Break fucking walk on screen with a slick back fucking convict hair, looking like a fucking prick. I'm just like, here we go. And I go, this is gonna get nasty because this guy really, for some reason, I don't know if it's something where it's just like I take any role I'm offered, but he just has knack for choosing the slimiest fucking people
Yeah, he
imaginable.
does.
Yeah, he does.
And fuck, it's gross, man.
I mean,
gross.
I appreciate that they didn't that so they explain everything later in a round. Like, first of all, another thing I
Yes.
loved about this movie was they did not hold anybody's hands, and they're again, it's like
No.
sink or swim, right? So it cuts at one point when he comes into it. It's clearly a flashback, an origin, but they don't bother to tell you, like, oh, it's 1985 or what. They like you get your sonic cues, right? The radio but I was so impressed with that and also like you guys said, like it's a fucking 20th Century Fox. You figured that like the script notes would be like, we need to let people know that this is, not current or what. No, they just dude, fucking they commandoed this shit like no underwear, just balls out. Like, no, you know what? Fuck it. And then it just and I love the way the camera followed him too. And like they suggest what the origin of this is, and then it's way later that this other character explains shit, and it's some fucked up shit. But I appreciated the fact that they did a very tasteful way of introducing this concept that is really, really fucked up. Like really, 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 really fucked up. Like it's part House of a Thousand Corpses, part Chinatown. Like it is just, oh man, wow.
You know what's interesting is that is that the thing that I was sitting there thinking in the theater, like, wow, is that the explanation of what is happening is the closest to the succession of Don't Breathe that I've ever seen.
It is, and which is
I agree.
It's crazy. It's crazy because Don't Breathe actually uses the same setting, like Detroit, decrepit old neighborhoods, and it's like, wow, that's impressive. And I don't know if like it's an accident, it's a happy accident, or if somebody watching it went, I enjoyed this movie. But what if instead of them succeeding in helping this person escape or helping this girl get out, whoever this guy kept capturing didn't?
Yeah.
And he got to his evil master plan. And he even got a little bit further and went, great, thank you for this child. And then after the mother was gone, went, hey, I'm going to use this new progeny of mine, and we're going to now create another person. Like, just keep going.
But
the
guy in Don't Breathe, Stephen Lang's character, was not. He was obviously nuts and evil to a degree, but he was only doing that. Remember, he was like, no, like he didn't consider it. He just wanted what she got her back. He wanted what she took from him, right? So he had a weird moral code. So I don't think he would have done. I mean, it's bizarre that I'm arguing on his behalf because he was obviously a fucking nut. But
no, I know what you mean.
But it's obviously an influence.
The question is, what the fuck was he going for? Because
he just didn't care.
I think that the revelation of what has happened and what Brake's character eventually does leaves us with the question of, I don't think this worked out the way he wanted it to work.
Not at all. Not at all. No, that's why he blows his brains out. You think he's going to shoot Justin Long? He just fucking because Justin Long's like, I'm going to have the cops here in seconds. And he's like,
I thought he was too.
Just kills himself.
Thought he was too. And he's like, man. I'm out. I've had enough of this.
God, well, it's that or die in prison. It's that or die in prison.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen. But then again, Justin Long didn't know how shitty the cops were in that neighborhood anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, man, those are some bad cops.
Yeah, so he could have shot Justin, and that would have been the end of the movie right there. Yeah. But I mean, those cops were fucking bad news, man, as far as giving a shit about anything going on in that neighborhood. I'm sure as far as they knew, they were just like, look, we shouldn't be here after dark either. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I like that there's by the character that kind of explains the story later on, he fills you in on the mythos behind this neighborhood because there's nobody else around to tell it, but once you find out about it, you're like, oh yeah, and she comes out at night. She's not afraid to come out at night.
Yeah.
Like she just wanders around regularly, and
Ugh.
it's just it's scary when you hear that guy tell him she's not the worst thing down there.
Yes, which so
Yeah.
I expected there to be,
I thought there was gonna be a family of these fucks.
but so,
So
I'm
again-
wondering if there's a second movie. I mean,
Mm.
this is where there's so many definite nods or like influences from House of a Thousand Corpses in those catacombs at the end of that movie. So I think there's another movie here possibly, and that would, I mean, if they made
Well, I mean, when he gets to that point where it's either follow that cord or go in the other direction, he doesn't go in the other direction, and we don't know what's in that other direction.
Yeah, right.
How far that goes. So
Right.
you might be right.
Right. Oh man, God damn it. Yeah, and like I want to know what are those tunnels? Like how far are they? Why are they there? Like there's more here, and I really, really hope they get a chance to tell the story, because and I have to assume that line that she's not even the worst thing in there. It has to be the hook that you hang this second movie hat on. Like it has to be.
Yeah.
I love when he's
This thing
like,
got a 93%. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 93%.
Good.
It's almost inevitable. It's gotta happen.
If they made a fucking sequel to Don't Breathe, which I love Don't Breathe, I still have not seen the sequel. I will maybe eventually. But it just seemed like, really? Like, please make a sequel to this. Don't Breathe seemed like it was a one and done to me, so I just didn't get why. This, it's like there's a mythos, so let's go. Let's see what. Oh my god, the mind can only salivate at the prospects.
Once you get a better idea of what has happened to, the way you feel about the quote unquote monster changes. It becomes
absolutely.
It becomes so much more of a Frankenstein kind of story where where you're like, Jesus. It's so much more of a figure of pity, of sadness, and you're like, oh man. Oh man, that sucks. I feel bad.
Let's jump to that moment for a second. Yeah, let's jump to that moment for a second, because there's this whole horrific scene, towards the end where Long's character throws this gal off of a water tower to save his own ass.
Right after he got done saying he was going to save her and he's not a bad person, right? And then at the drop of a hat, he's like, "Oh, fuck you."
But because she believes in her head that she's a nurturer, she goes and dives after her to save her quote unquote child. And it's so sad to see her. She sacrificed herself, to save her. I'm sorry, her character's name escapes me at the moment. Was her last name Marshall? Was that what it was?
No, Tess is the character.
Tess.
Georgina Campbell.
Yeah, what was her last name?
I don't know. I'm just going
to refer her to as Miss Tess. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But so you're watching this, and then there's Justin Long meets his fucking grizzly end.
Thank God. Thank God.
Before we get back to this sympathetic thing we're talking about, he gets dispatched fucking beautifully. Eyes pushed in, fucking goopy,
so
eye
good.
coming out all over the place.
Yep.
Just fucking disturbing. And then eventually his head, just crushed in, and you see his, head pop and implode. Fucking awesome. And it's a fitting end to a fucking piece of shit, in my opinion. It's great. But then Tess is laying on the ground wounded, and again, this monster is so sad and is like, I can take you back. Mama will take care of you. And you feel so horrible for what she is, why she is.
Yeah.
And when Tess basically says, "I can't go back down there. This only has to end one. This is only going to end one way." And again, here I am thinking, screen's going to go black right here. Movie ends right here. Leave it ambiguous, and then you see you hear the fucking the gun pop, and she blew her head off, man.
Yeah.
And again, like Ray said, you feel this overwhelming sense of sympathy come over the character that honestly wouldn't be able to function in society and has to go out this way. There is no other way.
There is no other way.
It's so sad. But yeah, man, that fucked with me a lot. And here we are. This is the end of the film, and I'm thinking like, Pearl doesn't stand a chance. Because I'm watching Pearl right after this. I'm like, this doesn't stand a fucking chance. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
But god damn, this movie was so fucking good, man. Were there any other gross scenes or anything else like that? I mean, there's plenty of tension building moments in here that we can talk about. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as
the breastfeeding? Oh my god. Like it was just unfucking believable. Because the first when she dispatches Skarsgård, it happens in this way where I'm like, is this a fucking zombie movie? Like I was like, what is happening right now? And so then it was just set up so genius where like when you come at it then through Long and it takes this circuitous where you get involved in his shit, whatever. And when you finally get back to that room and then you get to the next room with the fucking videotape about the breastfeeding or whatever. And like, I'm like, what is my God, it is just such a work of fucking art, and it's just such an accomplishment. I'm so unbelievably overjoyed by this film. I can't say it enough. Like, fuck, this is your first feature? You fucking kidding?
God. Strong.
Oof. Definitely a strong opener, and you're welcome here to come back to the fucking genre anytime you like.
Please,
even
please.
if it's to revisit this property, fucking do it.
Please, anything.
Like we said, this fucking mythos you've created about you can't just open the fucking doorway and just keep it cracked. It's not fair at this point.
No, it's not fair.
There's so much more that you could fucking do with this. I'd love to see. I'd love to see more. That first scene where you see Tess, the door opens up, and you think she's gonna walk in, and then literally at the same time, me and her go, "Nope."
Yeah,
it was fucking hysterical. Yep. But there's so much rad shit in there, and then she fucking goes in like a dummy, and I'm like, "Oh no, you're in trouble now."
She's a good person, but man, she makes every bad fucking decision. Like
which is what you would expect.
Yes. I loved when they're with Andre, the homeless guy, and they're like, "Well, are we safe here?" And he's like, "Shit, that bitch hasn't been here. I've been here 15." And I was like, "Oh, here we go!" And just boom, there you go. Oh, it was like a joke. Set him up, knock him down, like the punchline.
Yeah,
so fucking good.
She proceeds to tear his arm off.
Beat him with it
and beats him to death with it.
I have always been a big fan of any scene where somebody rips a limb off and then beats the person whose limb that was to death with that. I just think that there's an artisanal, whatever to it. It's just like, oh wow. You tore his arm off and then beat him to death with it.
Oh. And these are those grindhouse elements that you love.
Yeah,
these are those grindhouse elements that are just they're prevalent in movies that we love.
Yep.
And it's just you cherry pick the finest of the finest of wines.
Yep.
And poured them all into a big glass of shit, and it just god damn. He did so much by drawing from the fucking places that we love to create this love letter of a film.
Yeah. Well said.
I'm running out of fucking nice things to say. It's so fucking good. Goddamn.
So it looks like opening weekend it made 10.5 million. So far worldwide gross, this is according to IMDb, so I don't know when this is, what the cutoff for this is. 21 million. It doesn't say what the budget. I thought IMDb used to say what the budget was, but
I
I'm
know
not.
He
Wiki
used to
does.
say,
Okay, so I'm not seeing it. But I'm hoping. I mean, here's another weird thing. So as we brought the setting, Detroit, Don't Breathe, Only Lovers Left Alive, and It Follows. All within the last 10 years. Well, really almost 10 years ago. But all those movies, I feel like came out within. Was It Follows 2014. I think Only Lovers Left Alive 2014, or I saw them both that year, and then Don't Breathe 2017. Detroit is gorgeous. It is just absolutely, and as I think I've said on here before, I was there once to see Stereo Lab at the Majestic, and it's the only city I've ever seen where the manholes actually belch steam, like in Gotham City. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought that was like not a thing. But it is, in its dilapidation, it is one of the people that know how to film that city, and it's a gorgeous setting. There was a couple scenes in this where I was like, I think that exact street is in Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe opens with, it's a cold open where you don't know what's going on, and you see him dragging her screaming by the hair through the street,
yes,
right?
yeah.
And you get back there later. I could be totally wrong, but I felt like that shot was in Barbarian. Might be wrong, but it's just a gorgeous setting. But this says it was filmed in Detroit, Michigan, and Bulgaria. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought L.A. would have been. L.A. has to be. It has to be, because the scene with him on, was it like
the coast?
Yeah, it was like Pacific Coast Highway or whatever.
Yeah, it sure does.
Well, I figured all those I figured all those catacombs had to be a set, but at the same time, they might have needed a place that had extensive catacombs.
That's a very good.
That's might have been something that they've done there. I'm not sure. I couldn't place any Bulgaria in the film.
Yeah, right. We're saying
I certainly couldn't either.
I'd be a little hard pressed to do so.
I don't know if you guys stayed through the trailer, or I mean through the end, but the ending credit crawl, the music is a song. It's a track called Necro by a electronic or techno musician A001, and I had heard. I actually think it might be a woman, but I had heard their stuff before, but never that track. And dude, it is a haunting fucking track. Like, it immediately went in my Apple Music. I was like, this is like writing music for the next 6 months easily. And then the actual score was Anna Drubich, who has also done Fear Street, one of the Fear Streets, 1666. Let's see, a couple foreign movies, a couple movies I don't know anything about whatsoever. Oh no, actually, she did Werewolves Within. She did Fear Street Part 1, Fear Street Part 3.
Oh.
But really, really cool score. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Barbarian, I don't know. It's what's for dinner.
Yeah. Eat that shit.
Eat that shit. Go eat it, please. That sounds weird. Closing thoughts before we sign off and then immediately go into our next episode, which will be Pearl.
Ray, what do you got?
Just to reiterate, I mean, go see this movie. I think that with it's funny you mentioned It Follows, but I was thinking about It Follows, and like, because I think that part of the reason that you're seeing things like this at AMC's, you're seeing these things at theaters, and they're trying to give things a chance, is that even before COVID, I thought that AMC's and some other things were trying to give some quality, low budget horror a chance at movie theaters. And there's someone at AMC, maybe there is, that's either involved with the theater chain, maybe they're involved with the AMC network or they're involved with Shudder, but someone there has got an eye and it knows that there is some real quality horror movies getting put out right
Yeah.
now. And has got a little bit of their finger on the pulse of that, because we're living in this time of like Beyond Fest comes out every year, and they put out their list of films, and like it's every year it keeps being a veritable who's who of like low budget quality horror.
Yep.
And we're building a catalog of names of people that we know every year to watch for, and every year to be like, oh, is that person got something coming out? Oh shit, I need to go see that. What about this? And like there's still like the big budget stuff coming out, but there's still there just persists to be people who are coming out and they've got the vocabulary of horror, they've got a background in it, and they're making things knowing what a horror audience wants, and going, look, we know that there's still like the big budget stuff that you can go see. There's there's the next Scream movie, there's the Halloween that's going to come out again, there is like things like Smile that are that like have a jump scare, and we know you're gonna with audiences are gonna go to see that, but we're gonna make this for the person who watches a lot of horror, and we want them to go see it and go, wow, I like that.
Yeah.
I thought I was impressed by that. And if you wander in and you end up seeing it, great. And you end up liking it, even more so, because they're not trying to exclude you. They're not trying to say like it's only that small horror audience that should be watching these. They're trying to get you to go see this. They're trying to get you to go see Pearl, and it's the reason they're keeping them in the theaters.
Yep.
And putting them in these big budget, in these big chains, and giving them a chance. And take advantage. I mean, shit, there's great shit out there, and it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Very eloquently put.
Yeah. Yeah. Anthony, any closing?
Just that I am looking forward to watching this again.
Yeah,
I would like to go catch this. I would love to go catch this again theatrically. While I still have a chance to do so. I know there's a lot of stuff coming up on the docket that we're probably going to want to go see, just to cover on the show, just seasonal shit that's coming out. But yeah, I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait to own it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I definitely, this is something that will end up in the collection.
Oh yeah.
And I'll close by just saying, eyeball juice.
Yes. Okay, you guys said it all. So we're gonna stop, and then we will. This episode will end, and we'll have another episode. And so, listeners, you can listen to them after you see the movie. Whatever, same format. No spoiler warning. Spoilers. So, okay. Bye.